Well, here I am again with yet another Sword and Shield video. Because, of course, the last time I literally asked, where's the hype? Where's all the cool stuff? Where's all the information that actually gets me interested on the game? Well, shit you not. Pretty much less than 24 hours, I'm getting texts from family and friends saying, oh hey, there's a big information dump with people who played the demo for 90 minutes. With, hey, a lot of interesting content. Anyone else find it funny how it sometimes takes less than a whole day just to make your video outdated? But hey, who cares? We got some new stuff to go into. But the way I'm doing this, I got my information from various different sources and also other videos, so I apologize in advance if this sounds like I'm accidentally plagiarizing. I'm not. I'm just going down like a certain list here of different stuff that I wrote down and giving my own opinion on it. So, with that out of the way, let us discuss some of the things that I have here. Let's start with the opening of the game, where instead of the whole traditional Pokemon Professor introduces you to the world of Pokemon thing, instead it shows you this broadcast of like this huge championship battle with a different trainer and Leon, which is the current champion. And then it immediately cuts away to Charizard Gigantamaxing. It really only takes 60 seconds between the launch of the game and then to shove that in your face? No, now is not the time to get angry. Save that crap for another time. This is a positive video. So, besides that, I can't say that it actually is different. I mean, we've been doing the whole Professor introduces you thing for every gen up until now, so I will give it credit for being something different, even if it's something I personally don't like. Now, another thing that was pointed out after the main cutscene is the fact that you can actually customize your avatar in many different ways. There are some options that you're currently limited to at the start of the game, but as you progress, you actually unlock more features and clothing and other stuff for your character to customize with. And the character customization supposedly is one of the biggest things in the game. And I honestly think that's a really cool idea. I mean, I don't really know of any Pokemon. What am I thinking of? The Pokemon series didn't have any character customization except maybe Sun and Moon with a little bit, and Battle Revolution, maybe? I don't even know why I brought that up. But yeah, it's still really cool the fact that you actually get to customize your trainer to like suit who you want to be in the world. And that's definitely something I can appreciate looking into the game. Now, another thing that I can also appreciate in the game, supposedly there is an option to quote unquote like skip the tutorial, or rather, the tutorial is way less hand holding and more of experimentation of you trying to figure stuff out on your own. Which, thank you! Why didn't they do that sooner? I guess the perfect example of this is the beginning rival battle, where whatever you pick as a starter, he picks the weaker one. You have to battle as Wooloo first, which with that, you get the feel for picking moves on your own first. And then after that, I think you automatically level up, and then you're able to use your own super effective move against his starter Pokemon, which that eases you into how super effective moves work. And all with you trying it out on your own and less actually telling you to do it, which I 100% appreciate that. I mean, for me, who's been with Pokemon since literally Generation 1, I don't think I need such tutorials, or hopefully I don't. But for anyone else that wants to get into it or try it for the first time or anything, it's a perfect way to do it without literally telling you everything like you're 2 years old or a dummy. So that's a really good way to do that. More you figuring stuff out on your own and less, oh hey, by the way, do this, this, and this, and you'll be good. So hopefully the rest of the game is similar to that. And by the looks of it, yeah, I mean with the all the demo footage that I've seen and read about, it does look like there's a lot more of stuff to experiment on your own. Now, before I get into the whole wild area thing, because, of course, that's the most important part of the whole game. We know it, Game Freak. You worked the most on that. But we'll talk about two things real quick. The XP gain and how saving works. Now, for the first time ever, there is an autosave feature, which can be a blessing and a curse if you really think about it. It's a blessing because if you're a dummy like me and forget how to save often, which, yeah, I've done that before, it really helps. Now, on the negative side, if you somehow destroy a legendary Pokemon and the game autosaves, well, I guess you ain't getting that Pokemon unless you restart the file. So, yeah, it has its ups and downs, but I kind of like the whole premise of one and done. Like, I don't really like they'll do the whole save scumming thing. It never really was my taste, but I know a lot of people like to do it the traditional way and reopen up the save file over and over again to either get a shiny starter or something. So I know, so that option is there if you so choose it or not choose it. So it's nice to have it. The XP gain, however, there's a little less free reign with that. Now, how the XP gain is, it's very, very similar to Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. And how you earn XP for all of the Pokemon in your party that's currently there as you catch Pokemon and battle and all this other stuff. And as far as everyone's knowledge goes, there's no way to turn this XP share type of mechanic off. There was an item in the past called the EXP share where you actually could pick and choose whether or not you want this feature, but so far, even looking into the options menu and stuff, no such way to turn it off exists. So, yeah, I guess it makes things a little bit faster and smoother. So there is more progression, if you want to think about it, and less grinding. But for any of you who want to do it super old school style, unfortunately, that doesn't seem like an option. Yeah, that's another thing, too. Going back to the whole less grinding, more exploring thing. Within the 90 minutes, some people were able to get through most of the wild area because, and then the first gym, because I think you have to progress through the wild area in order to get to that gym, which is kind of cool. You're able to explore literally the biggest area of the game, or most of it rather, more on that later, and get a feel for the whole thing right away. That's interesting. At least it's not something that's locked post game or something. That would be kind of lame. So you get access to it very early. So you get to. I'll be honest. I'll probably be lost in the wild area for a crap ton of time before I would even hit the first gym. Because it does seem very immersive and stuff. So yeah, there's definitely a lot more things to do, like along the adventure, mainly in the wild area, but it's still interesting. Now, another thing here that I'm reading about the wild area is that there are sections of it that have really high-leveled Pokemon that you're technically not supposed to go to yet because those are probably routes to higher-level gym leaders and stuff. But technically, there's no way of, like, being blocked off, so if you had the guts, you actually could go and try to, I don't know, encounter a Pokemon 20-something levels higher than you. So, I mean, that seems kind of dickish, but at the same time, it is a very interesting take. That way you can explore different areas of the wild area if you dare to, but you also don't have to. I think there's also little guidelines aiding you as to where to go next, so you don't get lost in the massive area. So that's a plus. But it's also very interesting. Say if you do somehow, by some miracle, like throw like a Pokeball at like a high level Pokemon and it catches it, does that mean you just can wreck shit for the whole rest of the game? I mean, just the thought of that is interesting, though. I mean, even that concept that's never been a thing before. So it would be interesting just, like, whipping out, like, I don't know, what's the best ball to use? I don't even think quick balls would be available that early. Just, like, I don't know, just throw a random Pokeball just for shits and giggles, and, oh, wow, I caught it just by that 0.01% chance of it working, so yay! Yeah, that's the thing. There's a lot of things to explore in this huge area, and now I kind of see why they keep emphasizing it so much. There's also a weather system there. That's where all the max raid battles take place. There's also different materials you can grind. I think it's materials or some sort of interesting currency that you can get camping gear for the Pokemon camp, and you can even get some pretty rare TMs early if you so choose to grind the materials or currency to get them. Yeah, there seems to be a lot more freedom with this game, and that is one of the things that fans, including myself, were hoping for with a lot of these games. So I will give credit for that. The a lot less handholding and a lot more freedom to do whatever you want, and you learn the lessons on your own. Yeah, that I will give two thumbs up for that one. Believe it or not. One of the things I will mention is the Pokemon Centers is like a Pokemon Center, a item shop, and more all in one. Not only can you do your PC, but you can also like delete moves, change names and stuff too. So pretty much Pokemon Centers is just one place where you can do everything at the same time. It's more convenient, I will admit. And speaking of PC, for some reason, you can gain access to your PC wherever you want in the wild area. No, not routes and stuff, just the wild area. But even that, I'm not entirely sure how that works. I mean, I guess it's more so you can catch something in the wild area right there and then immediately test it out if you want to. Which, yeah, I guess that's kind of cool. I like that idea as well. Like, your random 6 is full, and then you catch I don't know, what's a good Pokemon? Pidgeotto. I'm just going to say Pidgeotto. I still like him. You catch a Pidgeotto, and damn, that Pidgeotto is looking fine. So you want to slap that bad boy right in your party and test him out. And, oh no, I have to go all the way across the wild area to get to the PC. Nope, you don't. You can slap that Pidgeotto in your party right there and then because the PC's on your phone. I'm sorry. Another quick thing is if you find like a Pokemon glowing yellow or something, I think it's guaranteed to have like some max IVs and an egg move or something. So I've read that's similar to how Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire had the rustling grass or something where they had egg moved Pokemon or something in there. So that's just a different way to handle that. It's almost similar to how Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee had the auras around those, but those are strictly size amounts, which didn't really matter except for more XP gain. And this is more of like, oh, if you find a glowing Pokemon, it's guaranteed to have a higher IV. So yeah, you want to look for those. They're super rare, so as far as I know. But if you can get your hands on one, hey, there you go. That would be another reason to slap that bad boy right on your party. But yeah, the way I see it, this game seems to have a lot more focus on convenience and experimentation, which both things is very good for this type of franchise. No one wants to do the whole grinding crap anymore, and nobody wants to literally have somebody tug their arm telling them what to do every 2 seconds either, because, well, that's not fun. So tutorials like that aren't really necessary, and for anyone who's getting into the series who's new or not as experienced, it still is a good way to ease people into the game. Let them figure stuff out on their own. Let them feel like proud of themselves that they actually figured stuff out. And if they need a helping hand, hey, there's plenty of Pokemon fans you can ask questions to. We're always here. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. There's a lot of things to look forward to, and I'm kind of glad I was wrong saying, oh, this game's not going to look good because there's nothing really about it. The only thing I have that's kind of like shitting on it is the graphics are subpar to a lot of other things. They're not bad, but they could be better. The frame rate still kind of chugs here and there if there's too much stuff on the screen, but we'll let that one slide for now. There's plenty of other things besides being a graphics and frame rate whore that we can focus on that actually do make this game interesting. Dare I say, I might be leaning over towards the yes side, but only time will tell. Gonna take a little bit more than that to push me over the line, but you definitely piqued my interest.